future. But he did, and I think he lasted about a week and a half.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you are watching from. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. This is a headline show, you could call it. There's information coming at the club, left, right, and centre. Conflicting information, you name it, it's coming out. So we're going to go through some of the stuff for you today. Anyway, if you are new around here, of course, what you do need to do is go and hit that cheeky subscribe button. As Russie B does say, hit that below. We're on the march towards 20,000 subscribers. I thought we were going to get there by the end of the year, but it didn't happen. So let's do the push for 2023. Why not? Anyway, I haven't been around much, actually, over the last couple of weeks, but DJ Russie B is going to be flying himself away to somewhere nice and warm for Christmas. So good on him. He will be back over the next couple of days before he does nip away and the mantle gets handed over to Uncle Anton, as they say. But I will have more time to invest into it because I am going to be off on annual leave all the way through the Christmas period. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, I'm looking forward to welcoming West Ham back because I am going to stay on the positive side because we've had the winter break. The players will have had, we've currently have 4 weeks. We've got another 2 weeks to go. And we'll just have to wait and see how we bounce back. We've got a friendly which takes place again this weekend against Fulham. So we'll see how the players are reacting to the fitness training that they've been doing. The result necessarily doesn't matter, but it's always good to try and get a win in even friendlies or testimonials like we've been doing. And it maybe sets us off in the right tone moving into the Premier League fixture against Arsenal on Boxing Day. So let me get started on a couple of the first stories. Now, interestingly, very interestingly, some news is coming out from West Ham saying that West Ham are ready to put a blank checkbook on the table to try and keep Declan Rice at West Ham. Will that make any difference to him potentially looking at leaving? I'm not so sure. He is contracted to the club until the end of 2023, which I believe he's got an option of a further year as well now. But the situation is that, you know, if we're going to try and gain a fee for Declan Rice, it's going to be this summer is what we're looking at. So much to weigh up here. We really do have so much to weigh up here when it comes to the Declan Rice situation. If our fortunes change over the next 6 months, can we convince the star to stay at the club? We will have to wait and see if that is a possibility, but our fortunes have to dramatically change. We'd have to go and win a tournament and finish in the top. Try and challenge the top four at least, but that's such a distance away. But it's not so far away. We're only 15 games in, but it could be a pipe dream, but we'll hold off and see what happens there. But Declan Rice has also previously stated, or what we've heard is that it's not really money that he's chasing. It's about his career. Footballers these days make enough money from such a young age, and if they're clever, they invest it. They invest the money. So he doesn't necessarily need the money. I mean, obviously he wants the money and he'll get a good contract wherever he goes, even at West Ham or elsewhere. But you can't blame the guy for wanting to go and win trophies and try to win trophies or play Champions League football. You just hope that it could be with our club, but we will have to wait and see. So that's coming out of even like some of the reputable sources out there, but we will have to wait and see. Listen, when it comes to this story about Declan Rice, you know the situation yourself. You can put two and two together and come out with the right answer. West Ham want to keep Declan Rice, but also West Ham will not knock back a stupid offer for the player. So they'll do everything in their power to get maximum result back from the Declan Rice situation, whether that means he stays or he leaves. We need to get maximum transfer fee, or if he stays, we need to build around what he is going to do. I don't think he will stay, but I respect the man so much. I really do. I think he's held himself really high regard within the West Ham fan base. Leave your comments in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. But also, on top of that, he is back next week. Apparently, he is going to be receiving 10 days holiday, and he should be in contention for the game against Arsenal, according to reports. Him and Lucas Paqueta are set to return to Rush Green after they both suffered devastating quarterfinal defeats in Qatar in the World Cup. Now, according to reports, they're going to be given the 10 days off before returning to training with West Ham next week, and both are hoping to be available for selection against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium on Boxing Day. Meanwhile, Thilo Kehrer, of course, knocked out from Germany in the World Cup, is expected to report back to training early next week. So he's had his time off as well. Now, Declan Rice started 5 of the matches for England in Qatar, whereas Paqueta missed just 1 match in Brazil's run to the quarterfinals. But West Ham currently still have 2 players at the tournament in Naif Aguerd with Morocco, who will, as Rush reported yesterday, be there to the end of the tournament. They're in the semi-final, so if they were to get beat, they'll compete in the 3rd place playoff. Alfonso Areola is the only keeper in the France squad who's not played so far, but he is out there, and of course the same situation lies with him. But we just are hoping that the 2 of them come back safe. Naif Aguerd potentially recovers from his injury, and we have a fully functioning centre-back who, you know, the big signing of the summer. I think you've seen what he is capable of doing in the World Cup, and you've seen what he's done for West Ham when he did play some of those games as well. So put your comments in, let me know your thoughts. Thilo Kehrer, Lucas Paqueta, Declan, all due back, which is positive news for West Ham, but not particularly great news for their countries who were knocked out. Now, listen, here's some Arsenal news for you that a boost that they've got, and that is Zinchenko is looking likely that he will be back fit for their Boxing Day clash with West Ham. Now, we go into this game trying to break a run of 3 successive defeats, and Arsenal, in comparison, are top 5 points clear from second place Manchester City, and they will be without Gabriel Jesus, who obviously picked up an injury in the World Cup, but they are hoping that Zinchenko will make it in time for the Boxing Day fixture. Now, he did join Arsenal from City back in the summer. He's only played 7 times in the top flight, and he's had to deal with several injuries through his time so far in his Arsenal career, but he is reportedly back for this game against West Ham. So that's a boost for Arsenal, not so much of a boost for West Ham, but let's hope our boosts of having these players back outweighs the Arsenal situation. Put your comments in and let me know your thoughts. Next up is this story going around about Kretinsky as he got second thoughts, but apparently there's a Mexican standoff between the West Ham owners. According to several reports online, less than a week after the club insiders claimed that Kretinsky is eyeing full control of the club. Apparently, that's come out since saying that opposite is actually the case. A West Ham source told that he was looking at potentially taking over the club, but apparently his cash, which we all do know, is tied up elsewhere, and he has no immediate plans to up his stake in the club. But he is playing the part of a minority shareholder in the background at West Ham. His investment style, his management style tends to be that he plays the minority shareholder as such, and he lets the existing management of a company get on with the things that they do day to day. And only if there is a noticeable underperformance does he start to voice his concerns. So while there does appear to be a little bit of a Mexican standoff between Kretinsky, Gold and Sullivan, I don't see that being boardroom problems, really, to be honest. So we will have to wait and see how this story transpires. You're going to be hearing a lot more with regards to Kretinsky, Gold and Sullivan. But he has came in, and I think at some point he will be looking at some form of takeover if he wants. But like we all know, his money is tied up elsewhere, and he obviously likes sitting in the background just now until he knows when he needs to step in. But last but not least for today, Torino have reportedly lined up a long-term contract for West Ham United loanee Nikolai Vlasic ahead of the plans to make his move permanent. Now, he is out currently in Qatar for Croatia in the semi-finals, playing reasonably well, playing well for Torino as well. And he's been on loan at Torino since the start of the season. His performances have earned him a spot in the Croatia World Cup squad. He's made 4 substitute appearances during Croatia's run to the semi-finals and been quite impactful in each of those performances as well. Vlasic started 14 consecutive Serie A matches after a substitute appearance on opening day of the season at Monza. He scored in 3 consecutive games as well, which has a total of 4 goals and 2 assists so far. But unsurprisingly, Torino want to make Vlasic a permanent fixture at their club and in their squad, and can do for around about 15 million euros with the buyout option that they've got available there. But several reports are saying that they're looking to try and pay a lower fee in order to get the deal done and get the deal over the line. Now, we are going to be losing money. We spent over 25, 30 million quid on Vlasic to bring him to the club from Spartak, CSKA Moscow back in the summer of 2021. And he didn't hit the ground running. He really has struggled his time at West Ham, but some will say that he wasn't given the right positioning at West Ham or given a run in the starting lineup. But every time I did see him, it just looked a little bit weak on our behalf. So, do you know what? It's not ideal. It's not great business sense. But if it gets the player off the books in the nicest of respects and means we can invest elsewhere, then so be it. It's not worked out for us, and that is a bit unfortunate. But it looks like that he will be signing on a long-term deal with Torino, because I think at the end of the day, it looks like Italian football really does suit Vlasic's style, to be honest, and all we can do is wish him all the best for the future, of course. So there you go. That's the roundup for you this afternoon. Like I said, and I always say, if you are new around here, please hit the subscribe button. We're on the march towards 20,000 subscribers. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, you can also hit the membership program as well. Have a look and see what we're doing. Lots of big stuff coming up for you for the new year. It's been a really good, another successful year at the West Ham Network, and we're going to be pushing forward with really exciting content for you over the coming weeks, moving into the new year, with a permanent signing joining the team, which you'll be excited to see. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel as we go through all the changes. And yeah, it's 2 weeks away till Santa comes, and let's hope that he leaves 3 points under your tree this year for West Ham to walk away with the victory against Arsenal on Boxing Day. Stay safe, everyone, and here's a little message from our sponsors.